Keegan Slaney against the left board. Skates out to center. Left wing side over the Hurricanes line. Takes the puck to the net. It's off. Rebound, score! Ty Spencer with the shorthanded goal. Chance. Jumps across the Medicine Hat line at the left side. He backhands it to the net on a deflection. It's off. Rebound. Pesket scores! That one will count. Logan Pesket picks up that goal. Scores! Buchkowski for the line. Tyson Buchkowski has tied this game. It's his first as a member of the Regina Pats. Pass up top intercepted. Here's Ty Spencer creating a 2-on-1. Top of the left circle. He shoots. Scores! Ty Spencer, his 13th of the season. Ty Spencer gets his feet moving. Gains center. Right wing side across the Tigers line. He centers it. Scores! What a play by Ty Spencer, and Braxton Whitehead finishes it off.
Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's January 21st. It's episode 161. Chris here, Kevin there. How are we doing tonight?
Not bad. We got 2 points on the weekend, which we were hoping for, but it was the 2 points we didn't expect.
Yeah, it's how we got those 2 points is not kind of what we were thinking.
It's the total opposite. We thought it was going to be the other way. We were hoping it would be the other way around. And well,
yeah,
hey, 2
it
points
is what
on the
it is.
weekend.
Hey, 2
Good.
points. Can't really complain about 2 points.
It's unfortunate it was the 2 points against the. Well, it was great to get the 2 points against Medicine Hat, but it would be nice to get the 2 points against Lethbridge because we're chasing Lethbridge.
Yeah, in somewhat of a term.
Well, we are.
It was just sad to see. Complain a little bit about the effort, and I think the coaching staff mentioned that in the post game, and I think the players realized that by the way they played on Saturday night, right? So.
Oh yeah, it was a totally different game. If they would have played like they did Saturday on Friday, they would have probably pulled out another W.
Yeah.
Because Friday was not good. Other than
No.
like three or 4 minutes of that game, it was not a good game for the Pats. Pretty much right from top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean there was a really good a couple good shifts early in the first period. It was looking all right, but it just seemed like they had nothing after that. It was just it was not great. They didn't have any power play time. Not that could have helped them or would have helped them. It didn't look good Saturday night, the power play at all.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Especially when you
But-
listen to Michael Ball doing the color commentating.
Man,
for
he was
Access.
on the power play. He's like, this is a momentum killer, he said.
Yeah,
Or something like
momentum
that
killer.
a couple times. Yeah, so. But, I mean, it is what it is. They pulled out the win on Saturday. But, yeah, like Friday, yeah, I don't know what really much to say about this game. Like, you talked to Herauf after, and he was just like, guys got to show up, and if they don't want to show up and play, then we'll find somebody else to put in the lineup. I mean, they don't have many options at the moment. They did make one change in Saturday. They sat Wilson and put in Allman.
And he picked up an assist.
And he picked up an assist. But, they don't have a ton of options at the moment with some injuries, right? I mean, I guess the only other guy that was healthy scratch would have been Kristanovich. But, I mean, I think
He's the healthy scratch, I think, which is unfortunate.
I mean, they're not going to sit the 20s.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit and any of the other three are playing pretty well. Like you got the two new guys in Bridgman, right? So
Bridgman's playing really well.
Yeah, his game is really, really elevated. Him and Haynes have done pretty well together.
Yeah, a good duo. Yeah, it's worked out really well for them.
Definitely, I think you get some confidence. You get that one goal in Saskatoon, and then just a little bit extra confidence. Not that that's his game. Definitely not at this point in his career, but just nice to get that one and a little bit of weight off your shoulders and keep playing. I know he wasn't happy with that penalty he took against Medicine Hat at 4 minutes for a guy
smacking himself in the face
with his stick. Yeah, and that was rough. And so on the opposite end of a rough power play on Saturday, the penalty kill was decent.
Oh yeah,
you killed off 3 there. There's lots of penalties, but they only had 3 power play opportunities, or sorry, 4. Yeah, 4.
yeah.
But yeah, it was. I guess not to get too much ahead of ourselves in this Saturday game, but Friday. I mean, like Friday was. It's just a blah game, right? Like
It was so blah. You
could see the difference to Saturday, right? Like Medicine Hat
crowd wasn't into it. Unfortunately, there wasn't very many people there, as seems to be as per usual. But man, it was just blah, quiet. I don't know. There was no energy from either team. It was bad.
No,
all the way around. It was blah.
Yeah, and then you see Saturday night, Medicine Hat brings a little more skill, a little more speed. The Pats can play to that level, and
a little more grease.
Then the Pats were bringing the physicality, and it was a lot more exciting game, right? Like it was night and day. Like
I said, if they would have played like they did on Friday, they probably would have won or made it at least close. Not a 6-2 game.
6-2, yeah, for sure.
But Medicine Hat definitely brings the grease, the greasy play. The little cheap shots and stuff.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. Yeah,
it's just how it is.
And
got the smaller quick guys that led by Weisblatt and Basha. They were kind of in everybody's grills.
Yeah. But I think Mushimanshi mentioned it on post game Friday that if Regina brings a physicality, Medicine Hat doesn't really like that, and you can see,
they don't like being touched. They don't like being hit.
Like there was a lot of scrums and stuff, and there was the fight. That was a pretty good fight, for all things considered. So I know a couple of people were asking why Vaughn got ejected after that, and pretty sure I didn't ask about it, but I'm pretty sure it was for the takedown. It was kind of a slew foot, and
it
totally
had to be,
warranted.
As soon as whatever slew foot, whatever he just the way he took him down.
Yeah.
As soon as he got to the box, the referee pointed at him and he
right away. Yeah.
Tossed him. He's like, "You're out," kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that call at all. Like it's kind of a dangerous play when I just don't like when the guys tackle like at the. You just fight if you want to fight. Great, whatever. Just don't tackle the guy. I'm not into that because, you see so many guys just banging their head off the ice, right? Like that's dangerous.
Well, that's the whole thing about the officials, the lines persons at this level. They're not used to breaking up fights anymore. Like there's hardly any fights, so they're not used to it, and they don't know when to step in. Because there might have been a kind of a point where they could have stepped in and like, hey, enough, done. But
that's unfortunate. So you lose a guy, and like I said, I don't think it was unwarranted at all.
Especially in his 100th game, so he's like 99 and a half games.
Yeah, right. But
you see fights in pretty much every pro league, not other pro league, but every pro league. That's pretty much how guys get tackled and taken down, unless the lines persons get in there and break it up.
You just cringe when you see guys getting tackled, though, right? It's just
yeah.
So.
But at least he stopped punching. Like he took him down, and that was it. That the fight was done.
Yeah. It's not like
lots of times you see guys get tackled or
and then
down and just hammering on them some more. So
no, for sure. But anything? What else you got on the left bridge? Like it was just unfortunate, like to see that kind of effort / play. I don't want to say they didn't give any effort, but it just didn't look good, right? Like
no,
it
looks
team
like
you're chasing.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say either. I think it's just kind of it was not a good game, and they paid for it, and it was a costly 2 points. Again, costly 2 points they lost. So
chance of 2 points, right? Like they didn't even give themselves a chance to get a point or two. But and it was just like because you're thinking about it, like we said, Medicine Hat, that's going to be a tough go to get a point or two. It's going to be real tough to get a point, and somehow they were able to flip that switch and were able to play a solid game, right? Like there was times Medicine Hat controlled the play. It wasn't unexpected. They were circling around like they had a power play at times at 5-on-5, but the Pats were able to keep them to the outside and not let them score. that was kind of not the sad part, but the rough part was like the Pats were scoring, and then they'd let up a goal right away, like 45 seconds after the Bukowski goal, and then 15 seconds after the Spencer goal, you give up a goal. Like, you just have that mental lapse, right?
Well, it's just like Friday's game. Spencer got the Pats within 2, and then they scored what,
That's
30
right.
seconds later.
Yeah,
it was
that's right.
like
Forgot
quick
about
response, and that was done.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to see that they were playing with Medicine Hat in those stretches. They were able to keep them at bay and then still go down and have your own chances at the other end of the ice, right?
They definitely weathered the storm in the first period. Medicine Hat got up 2-0, and then I was like, they got to score like within the next like 5-10 minutes. They got to score by the halfway mark of the period, or it could get out of hand. Pescott, nice.
Did he score?
Pescott scored.
Did he score?
Did he score?
I don't know.
Well, the referee called it a goal on the ice. They probably couldn't overturn it upstairs.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a interesting play. It was tough to see. Like, that puck, was it in the net over the line? Like, I don't know, but
Pescott sold it. Referee pointed goal.
I was just say he sold it. Definitely.
It's like, it's in. Referee pointed goal. Got to overturn it.
Hey,
you got to have the evidence to overturn it. Can't see the puck. Meh.
Yeah.
Good on him for selling it.
Yeah, you do whatever, right? And that was maybe just the bounce that they needed, right? You get a, I don't want to say a lucky goal, but Bukowski.
You can call it lucky.
Yeah, just a shot from the point and a couple guys in front. A screen Temple was there, and a defender or two were in front, and it just goes in, right? So
yeah, nice. Bukowski with his first as a Pat, which is nice to see.
Definitely, and you can't score if you don't shoot at the net, right? So
exactly.
Nothing wrong with that. And then, yeah, then
pucks on the net.
Yeah,
pucks on the net.
Medicine Hat gets one before the end of the period, so you're going into the third, 3-2. You're like, okay.
Medicine Hat got one, like not even a minute later.
Yeah, right. The
quick response, right?
And it's unfortunate, but I mean, you're going into the third, 3-2. You're like, okay, it's a game.
You're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance, right? Then boom, Spencer scores, like Mr. Clutch, Mr. Third Period, Mr. Tie game. Like, he likes to tie
Spencer.
Yeah, tie game Spencer. He likes to tie it up, man. He's what did we say? He's got 7 goals in his last 11 games.
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. Like, he's kind of really finally
found the next like his scoring touch, hopefully.
Yeah.
Still a bunch of games left this year. Hopefully he can keep it going.
And it's not like he wasn't getting chances before. It was just he just couldn't convert, right? He was just snake bitten. And now you see he's still getting his chances, but now he's putting it in the net and he's shooting. I think probably with more confidence, for sure, right?
And he seems to be he seems to have found like to play as a bigger. He's a small forward, but he seems to be playing a lot bigger. He's actually getting a little bit into the more dangerous areas. He's not being pushed around quite as easily, even though he is only like 150 pounds or whatever. And he's going to the net. He's doing all the fun stuff.
Yeah, right. Like that.
And it's paying off for him.
That goal, was it Friday? Yeah, it was the Friday night goal. He went to the net. It was just a lucky bounce, and he was right there, right, and put it in the net. I mean, and both those goals. I mean, I'm not saying that was a lucky goal, but the Howe goal was pretty lucky on Friday night. That just went off his leg and off the defender's leg as well, and then in the net. So
a goal's a goal.
Yeah, and he hadn't scored in 6 games, I think it was, up until that point. So yeah, maybe he just needs one just to go off him, and maybe he can get some momentum going, because he hasn't been as consistent, I'd say, lately.
No, he's definitely not.
No, but yeah, like I said, Spencer's hot. Whitehead, he's been pretty consistent since he's got back. Nice goal on a nice setup by Spencer, again. So another tying tying goal set up there for Spencer. Like, he's just so clutch, like I said. And then, overtime. I mean, anything can happen overtime. Medicine Hat had a couple chances early. They can control the first couple minutes of overtime, and
then the switch got flipped for the Pats.
And then
all of a sudden
the
the
Pats
ice
had some chances.
It shifted the opposite way.
Yeah, they had some
3
chances.
shots in the third, scored twice in the third on 3 shots, and then 4 shots in overtime, and they finally finished the game.
Yeah, right. More shots in overtime than the third period. Kind of crazy, but hey, whatever. A win's a win. And it was just a bad line change by Medicine Hat. They thought they could sneak a couple guys off, and Rowan just goes to the net, and Whitehead gets it on net, and
it does a little spinorama thing and passes it to Rowan, who
I think it went off his stick and his skate. And
stick, skate, and then pass
in the
Sahara, and it was And the way the players jumped, the way the players came off the bench, it was like they needed that win so bad.
Yeah.
Now they could keep this going on the road.
Yeah, that's another story.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I mean, to take down Medicine Hat, you love to see it. Huge, just boost for the players, right? Like,
huge game by the goaltender.
Yeah,
Howe. Unbelievable. If it wasn't for him making some of those saves, it probably would have been. Yeah, especially in the third period. Like that game could have easily been double digits for Medicine Hat if it wasn't for Howe.
Yeah, 44 shots. Pats had 22 total, right? Like,
they were outshot 2-1.
But yeah, Howe was solid. I mean, there's a couple pretty nice snipes top corner where he got beat. I think just about anybody's getting beat there. And it doesn't help that, like you mentioned it while we were at the game, and he is a smaller goalie. It's tougher for him to cover those top corners when he's down in the butterfly. But it is what it is. Like, he battles. Like, he's seen some of those saves. Like, the one, did he save it with his back? Like,
yeah, I think so.
It was just a bad scramble, and he was down, and he just whatever.
He Dominic Hasek did. He just kind of flopped it, got on the way.
Yeah. So it was just good to see. And maybe that's one question I should have asked Howe, or there's a couple there. I thought, I always think of something after, right? Like,
of course, that's just how it is.
Yeah, like, just battling. Like, I asked him, was there a transition coming back from World Juniors? And he said no, it was transition going to World Juniors because he'd been playing so much here. And that, and then but yeah, just getting that win against Medicine Hat, what does that do to the team? I didn't really ask him something like that either, right? But it shows that they can play with these top teams if they really put their mind to it, right?
Seeing Brad's expression when he was talking to you after the game on the Pats video there, he looked pretty pumped. So hopefully they can translate the win against Medicine Hat into something on the road, because the next 3 games are on the road. Yeah,
and the road hasn't been pretty, like we've mentioned before.
No. As everybody knows, the road has not been pretty.
Yeah.
But over the weekend games, the Pats are outshot 81-49.
Oof. That's
but it's like 40.5 shots to 24.5. So
yeah, that's
outshot by like 16 a game.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But hey, they were able to beat the Tigers.
Yeah.
Which I had them getting beat bad. Like, I'm a homer. I'm a Pats fan. I've been a Pats fan my whole life, and I thought they were going to get smacked.
Yeah. I was
but
thinking
they came out
like Friday night 6-2, 7-2, 8-2. Saturday night, like that's kind of what I was like. Ew.
But when they weathered the storm in the first period, they only allowed 1 in the first. I was like, okay, this is going to be a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah. I mean,
and a win, beautiful.
Yeah, right. I mean, Medicine Hat is missing one solid player, and Caden Lindstrom. I mean, he's got 27 goals in 32 games, but I mean that's the hand you're dealt. It's not like the Pats aren't without injuries. You got to take advantage of these teams that are down a guy. Like, I think Medicine had at that point had lost 2 in a row leading into the Pats game. So I think they lost 3 in a row there, but then Sunday tonight they responded by beating Brandon 7-3. So
and now the Pats are 2-0 against Medicine Hat at home this year.
There you go.
That's
We hadn't seen them since like the 5th game of the year, but
yeah, way back.
yeah. I mean, they do have one in Medicine Hat coming up here soon, so Medicine Hat might be marking that one on the calendar, saying,
Yeah, because last time the Pats played them there, it was not pretty.
yeah, what was it?
8 nothing.
8
8
nothing.
nothing.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. 8 nothing. So yeah, so next weekend, a couple weeks there, back in Medicine Hat. So 6th of February. See how that one goes, but yeah. What else you got about this game?
SpongeBob
Right.
SquarePants, the Patrick Star jerseys.
Right. Actually, before we get to that, one stat I want to bring up from these two games, face-offs. 41-27 on Saturday night for the Pats and 32-21 Friday night. So face-offs have been a lot better this weekend. I kind of lost track of that stat lately, but these two games.
Because they were getting handily beaten quite often.
Yeah.
And just these last two games, all of a sudden something's happened. Maybe they've been working on it. Saturday night, like Braxton has been not the greatest lately on face-offs. Like Friday, he went, I think, 4 for 9. But Saturday night, he went 20 of 29 on face-offs. He took 29 face-offs.
That's crazy. Wow. Jeez.
And he beat Tyler, or I'm guessing because Tyler McKenzie and Oasis Weisblatt, they went, 15 for 38 combined. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Braxton took a lot of the face-offs against him. But man, 20 of 29. I didn't even notice that till right now.
Yeah, neither did I.
That's amazing. 29 face-offs. That's like Logan Nyhoff numbers.
Yeah.
Back when he was here.
Friday night, he only took 9. He was 4 for 9 on Friday. Rowan was 9 for 9 on Friday. Spencer was 6 for 12. And then Spencer was okay Saturday. He was 5 for 10 again, so 50%.
It's better than being below 50.
Yeah, Rowan was 6 for 9, but Whitehead, oh man, he just dominated. 20 of
yeah,
20.
I know he was out there
29?
taking a lot of draws, but 29, it's lots.
When was the last time somebody took 29 face-offs in a game? Like, that's wild.
Maybe last year with Connor out there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe, right?
Because he played a lot, so probably got up there with the face-offs.
20
I don't really track that, so
no, for sure.
because a lot of times, a lot of times the numbers aren't exactly accurate. Guys that are taking face-offs that aren't taking face-offs.
Well, and speaking of the jerseys, the numbers were kind of hard to read too. So maybe the guys doing the stats weren't 100% sure of the numbers.
No, but I'm sure Whitehead, because he was out there a lot taking draws. He was taking all the key ones and stuff. So I'm sure those numbers are pretty close, pretty accurate.
No, for sure.
But yeah, those numbers were kind of tough to read, and the name bars.
Yeah,
were a little. The font was so big, it just kind of everything kind of blended together on the light blue on the Patrick Star pink. But they were very cool jerseys. It was a cool setup. The socks, the pants, the jerseys.
Yeah,
people seem to love them. Like over, I think Lane was mentioning it was like 17,000 plus that they collected from the jerseys. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
a Bedardless auction.
Yeah, and he mentioned that's more money than last year's SpongeBob ones, minus Bedard. Obviously, if you take him out of the equation, they raised more money this year than last year. So that's
Tanner Howes went for 1875.
And what did Braxton's end at? It was over
1250.
Yeah.
Jackson Vaughn's 1200.
Okay.
Ty Spencer's 1075.
Nice.
Those are huge numbers. That's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Corbin Vaughn's went for 1325. He didn't even play.
Didn't even wear it. So I guess he wore it. It's not even signing, but
yeah, it's not stinky.
No.
But yeah, congratulations to them. Like it was neat.
Good cause, right? Too.
Lane and whoever did the videos and stuff. They made the music. They made the SpongeBob stuff fit. There was one spot where SpongeBob was doing this little video. I don't know what was going on. He was talking. All of a sudden, it went into the Crazy Train song, and it just fit perfect. It was neat.
Yeah.
It was nice when they do these kind of things. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it gets people engaged. It gets people a reason to go to the game too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've got a promotion basically every home game, but
pretty much every home game they got something.
Yeah, well, they got to do something, right? It's just not, hey, come watch the Pats. You gotta Now in this day and age, you got to have a reason to go watch the Pats, right? Oh, hey, they're wearing cool jerseys. They're auctioning them off, right? You got to appeal to the, the microwave crowd, right? That just wants something now. You gotta get them out of the couch, out of the house, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we've talked about the struggles for reasons, but I mean, people were willing to get off their wallet and pay $600 plus for these jerseys, right? Like,
Yeah.
a lots were buy it now, $600. They were gone. Like over half of them, people just went, $600 done.
When I saw the post on X, formerly Twitter, I clicked on the link, I signed in, and there was already 3 jerseys sold.
Yeah.
Like, probably like 15 minutes after they went on sale.
Jeez.
Or on auction. It was like,
yeah,
wow.
So, but I mean, like I said, it was the full kit, right? You get the jersey, you get the shells, you get the socks. So,
yeah.
So,
And it's Patrick.
Yeah.
It was Patrick. So,
the Regina Patricks.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I guess we'll listen to those comments from Brad. If you got anything else from this show. So Brad and Howe. Howe is kind of last minute step in. I was expecting Rowan, so I was getting geared up for that, and then all of a sudden, no, he's not available. He went and did radio with Dante, and I guess they always have the round table. So there's Dante, there's Drew, obviously his color. He had Mark Black there and Rob Vanstone, so they lots of guys to talk to. So, and they had Spencer. They really like to gab it up after the game.
Yeah, especially when Dante is given that opportunity to do it, you'll talk.
No, for sure. No, it's good. It's good production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had Rowan and Spencer. So then I said, okay, I guess I'll take Howe, right? So.
Well, Howe deserves some recognition.
Yeah, for sure.
He was unbelievable.
And I actually asked Brad about Howe, not knowing that I was going to get him, but it's always nice to get the coach's take on some of these players. Performances like Spencer. We talked about Spencer again. Like, how can you not talk about him? He's really just come up clutch. And then I talked about Rowan and what he means to this team, because obviously he doesn't bring a lot of offense, but Brad was very complimentary of his complete game and stuff like that. So it's good to see, him getting some recognition, when he doesn't score a lot, right? But it's nice to see the 19 stepping up in whatever role.
Yeah. Like Whitehead, Spencer, and Rowan in their separate roles. And it's nice to finally see it now. Probably now that the deadline's over, they could get more comfortable.
Yeah. Right.
And Friday night, it seemed like the Pats players had checked out. It was like, the season's over, we're done. And then Saturday was like the switch was totally flipped. It was totally different team. Same players, totally different team, totally different game. As long as they can keep that switch on.
Yeah. Right.
The rest of the season
don't turn it off.
Interesting. Yeah, don't turn it off, because it could be rough, or it could be really good end of the season.
Yeah. And I mean, that's up to the coaching staff too, to keep these guys engaged and keep them focused mentally, right? To I don't know, to not get
their heads in the game.
Or whatever, right?
Every game.
Because Brad mentioned on Friday, like, I'm not going to bother putting Friday's interview in because it's like, whatever. But he mentioned, hey, we can't play scared on Saturday. But it's not that. It's how do you? Okay, Medicine Hat's rolling in, can't play scared. But it seemed like the team got up for Medicine Hat. How do you get up for these games that are almost more important? I'm not saying Medicine Hat isn't an important game, but like against the Calgary's coming up, the Medicine Hats, or the Lethbridge is coming up. The teams that you're chasing that you absolutely need to beat.
Yeah.
If you lose, it's those 4-point games, right?
Yep,
so
exactly.
you have to win these games. Yes, you have to try to beat Medicine Hat too. It's all points are equal, but they're more important. They're not equal against Lethbridge, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they're more important. 2 points. 2 points. 2 points up. 2 points down. That's 4 points.
Yeah. So. Exactly. Right. So, anyways, we'll listen to Brad and Ewan here.
Well, last night, Brad, you said the team can't play scared tonight. Sure didn't seem that way. It seemed like they really brought a physical edge. What did you see tonight?
Yeah, it's just what we were missing last night out of our game, and we challenged the guys here today. And, win, lose, or draw it was tonight, I really liked our effort. We stepped up. They answered the bell, which we talked about today. And I think they've done a really good job here for the most part. They've set a standard of an identity, the way that we play. And it's real noticeable when we're not up to that standard, because it's something that they've taken pride pride in, establishing this here. And us as a coaching staff and Al Miller, we're going to hold our lineup to that standard.
What did you say to them after last night in preparation for tonight to get this kind of effort out of them?
It just basically just wasn't good enough, and it wasn't good enough from a lot of individuals. And these guys are older now, and we got some relationships with these kids. You don't need to yell and scream and point fingers at them. They know when they're not being good enough, and then the video doesn't lie. And last night we just weren't engaged. We didn't have passion in our game. We had no extra oomph in it. And tonight we did. And we got to play that way to be competitive with these good teams. They score easy. They make real good plays. Obviously, we're not there yet, but that doesn't matter. We have a standard here, and we want to make sure that we're playing to that.
Yeah, speaking of their skill, it seemed like their goals came right after your goals. You were able to stem the tide when they had some good offensive zone pressure, but it was just kind of like almost mental lapses right after your goals. Right?
Yeah, I guess that is the one thing I'd written down on my card that we talked about between the second going to the third period. That was one thing that was really disappointed in us. I thought we were, maybe riding the highs too much after those goals. But yeah, they're a good team, and we did not handle those situations very well tonight. But I think of all the things that we did do well, that's something that it's a learning thing, and it's about winning, and we got to clean that up. But tonight we're gonna, just focus on the positives.
Ty Spencer, again, another positive. We talked a lot about him lately. Again, what can you say about him tonight?
Yeah, Ty Spence, he's a different player when he's motivated, and I know that. I had a real good conversation with today, and I challenged him. I didn't think he was very good last night, and we went back and forth on a couple things. He agreed, disagreed, to agree, But that's the relationship we got to have with these kids, and let them hear their thing. You show them video, the video don't lie. And Ty Spence, when he's a motivated player, man, he can be a difference maker for us.
He really came up big there in the third period. They had 17 shots. What do you think of his game tonight?
Yeah, that's what he was doing for us in early November, end of October, and I think he kind of lost it a little bit there in the end of November. It being long, World Junior stuff on his mind. I just wasn't himself, and he wasn't practicing the way he does, because when this kid's practicing, he gets beat, but I've never seen anyone make more diving plays, more paddle saves on second, third chances, and I think he just kind of got back into his groove here, and he's a European kid who's learning, all the fine things about living over here and how to, go through his process and his new routines, and he was a difference for us tonight.
And Zane Rowan, he gets overtime winner. He's not going to put up a lot of points, but he brings a complete game. What's he done for this team this season as a whole?
I think Zane Rowan is one of the people people we've had before in the past, Parker Bergs, Logan Nyhoffs. I think he is what our identity is. He's a kid who's worked his tail off. He doesn't expect more than what he is. He knows what he is, and he's for the Pats 110%. So to watch a kid with all the things that he does for a team that go unnoticed, that he does all the heavy lifting, a lot of hard stuff that people don't like to do, he does it with a smile on his face and takes pride in doing it. So to see him get rewarded at the end of the game there, for me, it's honestly just it's one of my favorite people to watch score.
Well, you haven't played a bunch since you got back to World Juniors. You get thrown in the fight here tonight against a high-flying Medicine team. Kind of what were your expectations of them coming into this game?
We know they're a good team, but I think our expectations were a win tonight. We need them, and doesn't matter which team we're playing against. These are our expectations.
You had a heavy workload that third period there. What did you do to battle through all those shots that they had?
I think the team did a great job in front of me, honestly. You could feel the energy in the ring just from the bench or the players on the ice. They've been blocking a lot of shots. And when every player on the ice or on the bench are given extra motivation, it makes our job easier.
Now, you just got back from World Juniors. Has it been kind of a tough transition? You come here initially, and you go back to Europe, and big ice, and now you're back here. Has it been quite a tough transition coming back again now a second time?
No, not at all. I think it was harder coming back to Europe. I think I play here during the whole season, so obviously I get comfortable here. And no, I think going back into Europe, I had a couple of practices of getting back into that big ice, but no,
What was your World Juniors experience like?
It was great. Just I don't have the words. It was awesome. Great group. We fell short, but it was overall a great experience, and it'll stick with me for a while.
Going forward, you got some road games coming up. It's been a tough go on the road lately. What do you guys got to do to find some wins on the road?
I don't know. It's always tough playing on the road, but I think we're going there to win. So obviously, we've been working really hard past couple of weeks. So we'll be ready next week, and aiming for those wins.
One thing from you in there, actually, when I asked him about World Juniors, it was kind of interesting. He said it was more of a transition to go back to the big rink. It was kind of interesting because he's like you said, he's played so much here now. He's more comfortable here almost. So
Yeah.
and like we were talking before we started recording, he didn't play much there, unfortunately. But
He got into one game.
yeah, it's too bad. But
Yeah.
he said it was experience of a lifetime, and I mean it's World Juniors. Like obviously, lots of kids in Canada grew up wanting to play in it. It's probably
And most
similar.
likely next year he'll go back and he'll be the starter.
Yeah, he could be
Or
started next year.
one of the
right?
main guys, because he'll be 19. He'll be one
Yeah.
of the main guys there.
You got some experience this year.
Yeah.
Lead into next year for him, right? So
For sure.
no, it's good experience, and hopefully
A lot of the international teams, they are 19 heavy, and like they just continue with the 19s and stuff. So he was only 18, so I guess he was the third stringer or whatever for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't even know who their other goalies were. Were they 19s? I'm not even sure.
I believe they were. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce their names because they're
Yeah.
Swiss. I'm not gonna try.
But yeah, I mean, if they're both 19s, and
I
he
think
got
they
s-
were. I think they
Okay.
were.
and then he's the 18, so he's kind of a shoe-in to be back, and quite possibly a starter, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else we got? I mean, we can look ahead to the games coming up. Like we said, the road. So you're in Lethbridge.
Before we get
Oh.
to that, Tanner Howe goes away for
Yes.
the top prospects game on what day is it?
I think it's
24th?
Wednesday.
The 24th, which is Wednesday.
that
Yeah,
is Wednesday
in
night.
Moncton, New Brunswick.
Yeah. So what time is that here then? Because that'll be
I-
on TSN, I assume.
I'm not sure what it's on. I just found the webpage.
Okay. I assume it'll be TSN because they have the CHL rights now, and that game is usually nationally televised.
Yeah, but I'm
So-
not sure what time. 7:30 their time. I'm
Ooh, so
guessing.
that's like-
according to this.
Or is that Eastern? Because usually the time is Eastern.
Yeah, I don't know. It just the press release or whatever says Moncton Wednesday, January 24th at 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
So,
So that
whatever
could be
that
as-
means.
That could be as early as 5:30 here, right? Because they're 2 time zones. Oh, wait.
It's on TSN, starting at 6:30 Eastern. So yeah,
5:30 here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so early one. Okay.
I guess I needed to scroll a little further.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. So TSN 5:30 here, local. Yeah. So hopefully he can show well there. Like we said, his stock has dropped a little bit from the rankings, but I mean that's not the be all and end all of anything. So
100% no, definitely not.
So yeah, I mean that's the one game isn't gonna make or break you there. They just want to get. It's more about the off ice stuff, I think, than the actual on ice game. All the off ice testing and the interviews. It's just a place for all teams to be able to get their eyes on these guys, right? And
Yeah, to get the top 40-ish guys,
yeah,
or close to the top 40-ish guys in the CHL altogether at once, and
yeah,
it's a lot easier than having scouts travel all over the place and stuff.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I said, it's more for the off ice stuff. It's not just one game. Right? You're just throwing all these guys together on a team and say go play, right? It's kind of tough to get some continuity there, but yeah, it's cool to see him there. It's always nice to have some representation.
And he's the only captain.
That's true. Yeah,
He's the only captain from his CHL team playing there,
Yeah.
and he didn't even get a letter.
yeah. I was like, I thought maybe he had inside track, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I think
thought
there's
that
only
was kind of
2 Western Leaguers that got letters, so
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's 6-2-2-2-2 if you go.
Probably,
if it's-
yeah, 2-2-2.
It's probably like that, yeah. So, But yeah, so that's good to see. So that's something to watch on Wednesday here before the Pats roll into Lethbridge on Friday. So Lethbridge again, right back at them. So right back on the wagon.
Yep.
But in Lethbridge this time, obviously. So yeah, hopefully they can take some momentum from this Medicine Hat game. I don't know, but
hopefully I just hope they don't play like they did last Friday or this past Friday against Lethbridge.
Yeah, because like I said, they're all of 7 points ahead of you, so you can pick up 2 points there. You're five back, and then you're into Calgary on Sunday, and they're all of 4 points ahead of you at this time.
So super key games, super key games. They need to get at least 3 or 4 points.
Yeah,
they can't go over this weekend because then they could be in real big trouble.
Yeah,
we keep on saying that, but they keep on being resilient and finding ways to get some points to kind of keep it close. But if they get 4 points this weekend, or 3 even, it'd be nice. They would probably gain ground.
Yeah, unless you give up the 2 to Calgary, and if you only pick up 1, but you have a point there. Calgary is tied for 8th with PA at 42, but they have 3 games in hand on PA, and they have 2 games in hand on Regina. So that's kind of low key there. The games are pretty tight played in the East here, so the standings are pretty even. Seattle's still that kind of outlier out west. West is kind of tightened up a bit, but Seattle, for whatever reason, they've been behind all season. They've only played 38 games, so that's
but they're starting to struggle.
Yeah, they are.
As like tonight, they
got blowed out
9-3 to Wenatchee. So
but so I mean,
really important weekend upcoming.
Every weekend's good. Every game's important. Every weekend's important. But
this is a really important weekend. They lose these games, it could spell disaster. Because Edmonton's only 6 points behind the Pats now?
And Edmonton had a little bit of a hot streak there. Yeah,
they still have 2 games in hand. So
as well, Edmonton had a little bit of a hot streak. They picked up that Grayson Sawichin, and they kind of went on a roll there. And I said to you, I was like, when does Edmonton pass Regina? They're looking kind of hot there.
At the rate they were going there for a bit, especially when they beat the Pats 3 times this year already.
Yeah.
So imagine those 6 points. Where would they be with 6 points right now?
Or even 4, because that one they didn't deserve a win.
Oh, true.
The one in Edmonton, they probably deserved to win. They were up 3-0, right? They probably deserved that one, right? So the one here, they didn't deserve anything. So I'm not going to say they could have been.
If they would have played up to their potential, like the first part of the season, they proved they could play.
Mm-hmm.
Then they did the trades and stuff like that. And then they proved on Saturday they can play.
Yes.
So
exactly.
If they were consistently like that and not like Friday where they played for a couple shifts in the first and then 5 minutes in the third and that was it.
Yeah.
Like they need to be consistent. They need to get everybody on the same page, reading from the same book, all that kind of jazz.
That's the hardest thing probably in junior hockey is find consistency when you're not a team that has firepower and you can just score at will, right? That's probably one of the hardest things is to find that consistency on these.
But the thing is with this team though, they can score. That's the thing. Like they're not a run and gun offense, but they prove it. They've scored 5 against Medicine Hat. They've scored 4 goals a lot of times this year. It's just that they got to keep the goals against below 4.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're a minus 43 in the goal differential, so that's kind of the telling stat, right?
But yeah, you allow 4 goals against, you're not going to win many games. That's just no matter who you are, you allow 4 against, you're not going to win many games.
Right. And what's their average right now? They're giving up 4-1-1. So.
Yeah, just over 4 goals against a game, and they're only scoring 3. So they need to hone in on that again. Get back to the roots.
Yeah, I mean, it's not up to the goalies as a whole or as individuals, but I mean, they've got to find some consistency as well. Like we've seen them when they were like we said at the start of the year, where everything seemed to be really going well. They were
well-oiled machine, and then injuries happened and stuff happened, and Everything kind of went off the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
They and the road. They gotta figure the road out, or
Yeah.
it's done because they've got 3 wins on the road this year.
Still only
If
3.
if they don't figure it out, it's done.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's
for sure. I mean,
you can't make the playoffs doing that.
No, and they're life and death right now to make the playoffs, right? It's going to be a tough go. But yeah, I mean that's what the situation they're in, right? They're not the greatest team. And they just gotta work hard and find that consistency, like I said, like they had at the start of the year, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Coaches gotta find that too. And I mean, there's lots of new players in here as well, right? So,
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we've kind of rambled for quite a bit for 2 games this week. Not a busy kind of off ice chatter. Now that the trade deadline's over, there isn't going to be much news per se league wide. I just got to mention maybe the West. Friday night, I flipped on the end of the Prince George Portland game. Whew, that was a good game. Like I watched it. I think it was about the last 11 minutes. I mean those 11 minutes were more exciting than that whole Friday game here was as a whole. So I was kind of disappointed that they started early on Saturday. I wasn't going to catch as much Saturday night, but I didn't catch any since the Regina game went to overtime.
Yeah, it
and
went
stuff
overtime.
like that. So, but that was an exciting game, right? So
Yeah, it was awesome. And like everybody seemed so pumped. Like
yeah,
Gord Pritchard came out of the Pats office or room or whatever in the press box. He was fist pumping and
yeah,
F yeah or whatever he said.
yeah. He was jazzed.
He was pumped.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's good to see, right? But yeah, I mean that was a pretty heavyweight tilt out west. Portland was in PG for 2 games there, and it's always tough to beat a team twice. Prince George squeaked out the win Friday night, and Prince George squeaks out the win Saturday night. So, that was some good hockey, I think. Yeah, Everett's right up there. See, Berg scored on Friday night. They kind of blew out somebody, and he chipped in a goal. I think that might be his first with.
That was
Everett.
his first, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Prince Victoria's still kind of rolling. They lost today to Kamloops somehow.
Got smacked by Kamloops 6-2.
They're right up there. They're still doing well. Wenatchee's kind of dropped a bit. But yeah, it's that.
But
West
Wenatchee's still 9 games over 500. Like
they're not going to drop too much.
Nothing
further.
to sneeze at.
No. Like they're still 24, 15, and 4. Like that's
exactly
not a bad record at all. And like we said, they got there basically without Savoy. Savoy played all of 11 games with them.
Yeah.
And Geeky was there for whatever 20-some games, so they're going to do okay. I wouldn't say they're a title contender, but they're going to do just fine.
Never know. Yeah, just
you don't.
Never.
You don't. See what happens out west. And I mean, Vancouver's picked up a couple of guys. They're looking to make some moves in the 7th spot, and Spokane's hanging on, trying to make the playoffs. They've lost some games big here lately, but yeah, be interesting to see what happens out west. Yeah, I don't have much else to talk about.
And if you're listening to this again, Keith, sorry, we were going to do trade talk, but it kind of slipped our minds. So next week we will purposely talk about trade deadline deals of the past, and we'll compare old deals to what we figure this year's might look like the future part of this year's deals.
Yeah,
we'll get to it, Keith.
Yeah, we may have forgotten, but we didn't forget because we remembered to.
We remembered
that we forgot about it.
Yeah, we remembered last minute. It's like, I'm not going to go digging right now. We want to record this, get this out.
Put a reminder in our phone for a Tuesday night there before the game. Wednesday night we'll watch the game, and so Tuesday or Thursday night, one of us we'll look into some stuff here.
We'll definitely look into it, Hershey.
Yeah,
trust us. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
we didn't forget you. Well, we did, but we didn't.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, all right. Well, if that's all you got, then we'll not see you at the rink this week. We'll see you at home. Hopefully, watching the games. Hopefully, there's some competitive games. That's all we want to see, right?
Competitive, couple W's would be awesome.
Yeah,
are we going to pick our guys to score this weekend?
Yeah, we kind of forgot about that. Another thing that we kind of forgot about. You go ahead.
No, you pick first.
Oh, I pick first? Okay. Moore. I'm gonna go with Moore. He's looked decent. He might pick up another one here, I think.
Oh, hopefully. I'm gonna pick. Let's see. Who do I pick? I'm gonna pick Barsic to score his first as a Pat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with Howe. He needs a little love here. He needs to get back on the wagon. So he needs to get rolling. He needs to get this team back on his shoulders a bit.
Yeah, start pulling him along. Now he's getting some help from the 19s that are getting going.
Yeah,
it'll be. Hopefully he can continue getting better and bringing his stock a little higher
maybe,
for the draft
maybe,
rankings.
Maybe his appearance at the top prospects game. Maybe he gets some more insight into his game. Maybe
what to fix and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Something not to correct or fix, but yeah, just some stuff to work on. Hey, we liked you at the start of the season, or we liked you last year, or, this is maybe tailed off. Maybe he can get a little bit of help, some different eyes on him, right?
Yeah. And then I'm going to pick Ty Gibson to score his first as a Pat as
Gibson.
well.
All right, couple D-men.
Couple D-men. I probably won't get it, but hey, I'm picking D.
Give him some love, right? So
yes.
Some new guys. Yeah. All right, well, with that, we should get out of here. Have a good night, folks.
Take it easy.
Now Braxton Whitehead over the blue line, into the slot, loading up, backhander in front, score! Dane Rowan, the overtime winner, and the Regina Pats take this one in overtime!